Good morning, Ireland. It is Friday, July 26th. Back on the trail again. So yesterday I walked by the 16-mile option. What made my mind up was that it was a 0.3 downhill trek to the shelter, and then obviously a 0.3 back up in the morning. I went, nah, don't like that. So I kept going, went to about 19 or so, and got a little cheapo motel and stayed there. Took an easy, had an easy night, easing myself back into this. Talk to you soon. So today, two little milestones. I'll be crossing the 1600 mile point very soon, and also I'll be crossing into Vermont, or Vermud as the hikers call it. So everything's going well. Had to endure my body getting rid of caffeine headache yesterday, which was a bloody nuisance. Always makes me feel sort of 3 out of 10 nauseous. Anytime I do that, I should just give up the bloody stuff. I'm fine without it, but you do have to go through a day or two of a caffeine cold turkey to sort of get it out of your system. But yesterday evening, just the last couple of miles of my walk, I was kind of nursing a headache. Didn't initially twig what it was because I don't normally get headaches. And you know, in the same way I never get lonely. But yeah, it just dawned on me, okay, just got to put up with that for a day or so. Feel much better this morning. Got lots of fluid into me. Had a decent night's sleep, had some good food. Back on the trail now. This morning's thought that I thought I'd share with you. This whole debate of whether it's good from a pure AT hiking point of view to have the sort of breaks that I've had, i.e. families coming to see me, or me going to see them, or whatever, or friends coming to see me. You know, I could swing both ways on that. On one hand, it's nice to have a break. It's nice to see family, but it does disrupt the sort of rhythm that you get into, regardless of how tired you are. It's probably better to say, well, when you're tired, just take a couple of Neros. Don't quite stop, but just a couple of easy days, a couple of 8-milers, you know. And even though I miss my family so much, it just makes it tough saying goodbye again, and then getting back into the trail rhythm again. And certainly 8 days was probably too much. 8 days is enough to lose a bit of fitness. It didn't happen to me, but I could imagine people losing a bit of will as well and saying, you know what, I'm just going to go home with my family, and I've done enough. I've hiked whatever 1500 plus miles, and you find yourself at home and then regretting it in days or weeks or months time. So I was never leaving the trail, or never giving up on the trail, but I could get it. I could understand people making other decisions. So yeah, I would just throw that out for debate. Is it better to pure hike, this trail? I'm kind of dreaming up this concept of pure hiking the AT, where you basically, you don't stop, you do it in one direction, etc., and you cover the whole thing. But hike your own hike. That's the big message. But maybe there's a different definition needed for, between you section hike the whole thing, you through hike the whole thing, you yo-yo the thing, whatever. There's all these other things. But someone who just simply goes to the start and then doesn't get off the trail till he gets to the end. I haven't done that, but maybe that needs a different term. Pure hike's not a bad one. So anyway, there you go. I'm just ranting. Just an excuse to stop and have a breather. All right, talk to you later. Check this out. That is a big beaver dam. Look at that. Big crescent shape. Actually, I'd love to see a beaver and see where they exit. Just here. Cool, very cool. And that has formed this huge big pond. Yeah. Good morning, Ireland. It is Saturday, July 26th. So this is day 126. I'm just taking a breather on this nice big climb up from the road crossing near Bennington, Vermont. So I stayed in, so I think I did an 18 point something mile day yesterday. It was fine. Stayed in a bunk room with 5 other hikers at a place called the Catamount, which is also a motel, but they do free shuttles from the trailhead, which is great. Met a few nice people. Just bumped into a couple of characters this morning that I haven't seen since early June. The night that I saw the copperhead snake, you might remember that from a previous video. Those two guys were there. They're Doc and Chappie. Really nice guys. So they had just this morning got down to the road crossing here. Kind of surprised. I thought they would be somewhat further north. I didn't know whether they were ahead of me or behind me, and I thought Chappie had left the trail. I got that wrong. So two really nice guys. They were just getting a lift into Bennington to get some food. So I might see them again further up the trail. The plan today is to do a fairly modest 15 miles. When I get there, there's a shelter there, so when I get there I'll make a call, but probably a bit of self-discipline needed to make me stay there. Soles of my feet are quite sore, so I just need to let them get back into condition so I can start doing bigger days again. But I don't need to do really big days, but it's still nice to get a few miles in the bank if I need to spend them, if I need a day off or whatever. So yeah, everything's going great. Hope you're all enjoying the summer. Talk to you soon. Here's an interesting feature. Sorry I'm out of breath. It's a big uphill section. These are called split rocks. I had a few of these. It's quite interesting. You see as we approach, it's like one big boulder that's been split in two. And the trail goes right through the middle. Cool. And I'm going to go through the middle. You can come along. It's kind of a lot easier than the last split rock. Oop, dragging my poles. The last one was part of a hand over hand rock scramble. Well, that's kind of cool. There you go. Catch you later. Oh, it's one of these things again. This one's a little more solid. Heavy duty Meccano. The staircases are getting narrower as you go up. Oh, cool. Suddenly you're above the trees. Wow, it's beautiful up here. How cool is that? Just to get up at the tree line. Beautiful. Okay, before I fall, I'm going to stop and I'll turn this back on at the top. This is very cool. It's nice to see some scenery for a change. Nice. Beautiful. Every now and then find myself in this eerie silence in a part of the forest that just feels a little bright and creepy. So I know bears are active in this area. I've seen the notices on the shelters, but they're noisy. So I have something hanging from my cap. But the big thing we got to look out for here, and I mean big, this is moose territory. So I don't mean strawberry moose, which would be lovely. I mean moose. I mean a horse with antlers. Mooses. Sounds like bad grammar. Mooses are, I believe, the second most dangerous animal in the States after grizzly bears. This stretch that I'm on between Bennington and Manchester, Vermont, apparently is prime moose territory. So much as I'd love to see one, I mean I would love to see one, but again from a safe distance. I don't know what antagonizes a moose. I don't know how they attack. I don't know what they do. All I know is that they are responsible for a lot of deaths, and they're bloody huge. I'd be kind of curious about how they move through these trees. They're quite closely packed. Maybe they come up the trail. That would be great. Yeah, we probably give them a nice little highway to use. So that's today's worrying fact. I'm just coming to the end of a biggish day. So I went a little further than planned, but I feel good. So with a bit of effort tomorrow, oh, something stinging. A bit of effort tomorrow, I'll do a similar day and I'll get to a town called Manchester, Vermont. And there's a very good hostel there called Green Mountain House, which is supposed to be one of the best on the trail. So at some point tomorrow, when I feel confident that I'll get to the road crossing that gets me into town, I'll try and make a reservation. I believe that's quite difficult, but one will do one's best. Okay, flying along. Talk to you soon. Bye. Good morning, Ireland. It is Monday, July 29th. So this is day 128. Everything's going great. Yesterday I did my biggest trail day, which was something like 25.7 miles. And then I had a few more miles to walk into a town called Manchester, and stayed at a hostel there. In fact, I'm staying there for 2 nights because turns out they do a slack pack service. So this morning they took a carload of people north, 18 miles up the trail. So I've got this little loaner pack, little tiny thing, and I basically hike the 18 miles Sobo back to Manchester, which is a very nice town, and spend the next night or tonight in the hostel. So it's a lovely place. It's called the Green Mountain House. A very nice place, beautiful building, really nice guys, Jeff and Duffy. They obviously take a lot of pride in it. So yeah, everything's tickety-boo. I thought we were going to see a moose earlier on. I was told there was one near the trail, but I didn't see it. I did disturb something else. I was afraid it was a bear cub. It sounded young and whiny, and I just thought, oop, no, don't hesitate, just get out of that area. So yeah, I'd like to see a moose. Hopefully if I do get to see one, I'll get to film it. Sorry, I'll stand still for a while. So yeah, it's Vermont is beautiful, I have to say. The trail is a bit muddy here and there, but you can pick your way through it, you know, it's not bad. I think I timed the rain quite well, it's just dried out a little bit. So everything's going great. Picked up a few miles, did at least 10 or so more than I needed to yesterday for my average. That gets me to September 8th in Katahdin. So had a good chat with a guy today who's gone Sobo all the way. Well, certainly from Maine down to here. He has done a section further south that he got out of the way earlier in the year. And he gave me some good advice about the whites and about Maine and where to stay and where not to stay and all that kind of stuff. So I feel a bit more comfortable about it now. So yeah, everything's great. I'm going to say hello to Rachel's friend Charlotte. Hi Charlotte, I believe you've been watching all of these videos. Thanks for that, thanks for persisting. I get a great boost out of it when I hear people are following me. Hopefully you find it interesting. Alright everybody, I will talk to you later. Bye. Just dropped from the top of Bromley Mountain. It's actually a ski run. So I'm on this is a ski run in the summer. So it looks kind of cool there. Picture it white now with a load of cowbells and skiers in their funny costumes. There you go. Quite a nice view. Good morning, Ireland. It is Tuesday, July 30th. That makes this day 129. I am in the vicinity of Little Rock Pond in Vermont, mile 1672, something like that. So this morning I started at 1670 at a road crossing. Got a lift up there from the hostel shuttle guy, Duffy, very nice guy. Gave out some good advice about a couple of places further up the trail. Yeah, a funny one, and it's one of these the trail provides stories. So yesterday I had a bit of one of those things I seem to be uncomfortable admitting, that maybe I'm a bit homesick, and certainly this morning I was feeling much the same. I didn't mention it to anybody, except maybe Emily. But so I came out to get into the shuttle this morning, the car that they use, and Duffy says, you know, just pointed to something for me, and he goes, "Hey, look over there." And on the side of the hostel, they had an Irish flag, just an Irish flag, for me. They put it there because they knew I was Irish, and I guess, you know, a long way from home, make me feel more at home, and it was, you know, moving. So I took a photograph. He wanted a photograph, so I got him to take one on my phone too. So yeah, today I'm going to exercise a bit of self-control, and there's a bit of climbing to do today, some ups and downs. So I'm not going to go past a shelter which is, oh, I've already forgotten the name. Clarendon shelter. Sounds slightly posh, but yeah, it's something like that. And it's about, almost 16 miles, 15 point something miles from the road crossing that I got on the trail at. So that'll do fine, and then I'm going to try and get into a well-known inn tomorrow night. It's called Inn on the Long Trail, and that's at mile 1705. So if I do the 15.7 or whatever it is today, that'll leave me with about 18 to do tomorrow, which is okay. And then I'll overnight at the inn. Apparently it's good. Apparently they have an Irish pub at the inn, and sometimes have, you know, some music on and whatever. So that'll be nice. I'm not going to zero, but I will take an overnight there. Okay, that's it. I have to say Vermont is beautiful. We don't get that many views, I have to say. We are kind of closed in, as you can see. You know, it's like this pretty much all the time. If you're lucky, you know, you'll get out on a peak that might have a touch of baldness to it. Like myself, I don't know, I'm going a bit bald. Whatevs. And you get to see some nice scenery. So there you go. My concerns about the White Mountains, I'm a little bit more comfortable about it. I got some good advice from people over the last couple of days, and I watched a bit of footage of a couple of guys that I've been sort of following on YouTube. They are currently in the Whites, so I'm, you know, getting a little preview there, and it looks okay. I know there are some dangerous sections, descents in particular, that I need to be careful of, but you know, I think I'm at this stage as fit as I'm ever likely to be to deal with a tough 100 miles. I think it's about 100 miles of pretty severe ups and downs. That's the area where the likes of Mount Lincoln and Mount Washington and all that kind of stuff, that's where that is. Mount Washington, I think, is back over 6,000 feet again, and it's famous for having I think it's possibly the highest wind speeds in the world. They get winds of, I don't know, something like 200 miles per hour up there, which is why, you know, once you get above the tree line, or if you're planning on getting above the tree line, which we will be every day on the AT, we have to be very careful of the weather forecasts, because you can get, excuse me, something went in my mouth. God, I don't even want to know what that was. Yeah, you can get very severe weather very suddenly, so we've got to be very alert to forecasts. So that's that. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. Hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to seeing some of you when I get home in September, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-de-bye. Every now and then we come across these obviously human-made walls, but this one's interesting because it's got a load of pieces of what looks like agricultural equipment stacked on it. Wheel hubs and things. There you go. So I think there must have been a house of some sort. It sort of squares off here and then goes off that way. I don't know. Must have been an old village of some sort here. How cool is this? This is when hikers have too much time on their hands. All these little hoodoos. So I've made one. Made you see it's spectacular. That's Whitey's hoodoo. Oh no, it isn't. This is Whitey's hoodoo. All of that was me. Look at that, how cool is that? It looks like it's just precariously balanced. It's just gripped underneath the root. I like the ones that are cantilevered. See that? Hey. Good morning, Ireland. It is Thursday, August the 1st. So today is day 131. So yesterday I went into Rutland, which is one of the larger cities in Vermont. It's still not a particularly big city, but it's okay, a little bit sort of, I don't know. It's okay. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Met a lot of hikers in there I hadn't seen in a while. So today what I'm doing is, apart from trying to make sure I'm going the right way, Willard Gap. Today I am hiking in between Rutland and Killington. I'm doing a 21-mile day, I think. And yeah, so I'm doing pretty well. Still trying to learn what my body wants from me, you know. Sometimes I think I'm playing along, and then all of a sudden in an afternoon I'm like, just get me off the trail for a few hours or an overnight or whatever. So I think what my body likes is the sort of 5 or 6 decent days and then a day off, basically. I think I perform better that way. Some people don't like taking the zeros. They prefer to do a sort of a Nero into a town and a Nero back out of town. But I think my body appreciates and performs better when I give it a full day off. And I don't really bother with Neros. So yesterday I bumped into K1. So I don't know whether I explained who K1 is. So K1 is the wife of K2. And some weeks ago, a couple of months ago, K1 left the trail and then sort of recuperated for a few weeks. In the meantime, I was sort of hiking with K2, and then K1 rejoined the trail, but unfortunately sprained her ankle. Hi, how are you? So she is now in Rutland recovering. She's still limping quite badly, but you know, she's mobile, but she's just using a stick to sort of hobble around. So I had a pizza with her, had a good chat with her. I hadn't really had a good chat with her before. I had met her a couple of times. She's an extremely nice, intelligent kind of person, very caring, good listener to my rants and bleats and moaning. Sorry, son is in a bad place there. And then afterwards I had some funny texts with K2. K2 has entered the White Mountains. This will be his 3rd day in the Whites, and he seems to be going quite well. We have this loose plan, but I'm not feeling, you know, maybe I'm 80% confident that I can catch up with him, because he is going to be taking 5 days off. But I mean, I think he's probably more like 7 days ahead of me, but he's taken 5 days off. So it really depends on how the Neros and zeros of his and mine kind of help or hinder. There's no pressure. I just think he's an extremely nice guy. I get on very well with him. We seem to enjoy each other's company, and it would be great to do the last stretch together and you know, get up Katahdin together. He really has to sort of target the 5th of September. That's a little bit ambitious for me. It can be done, but as I say, I'd only be, you know, 80% confident, and I don't want to overexert. There's, you know, apart from the sort of honour of summiting with K2, you know, if I do summit on the 5th, I've got quite a bit of time to kill, because my flight home isn't until the 14th. So I do have you know, that is a bit of a niggle. So we'll see how the days pan out. Again, I don't want to overdo it or, you know, result. I don't want to end up with a bloody injury or something. So, and I want to enjoy it. You know, I want to sort of relax. And ultimately I'm still sort of targeting the 8th. But we'll see how we go. Still haven't seen a moose. If I do see one, hopefully I'll get a chance to film it and show you. But for now, catch you later.